So with this, we come to the next topic of safeguarding. And I'm very happy to be part of a recent Erasmus project about the SAFE COMBAT certification. And then I welcome Juliane Robra, who is from Sport Evolution Alliance and Judo Switzerland, a former Olympic. And then Professor Nemanja Stankovich, who is from the EJU Scientific Commission and from Serbia. And Nemanja and Juliane are all also part of the project, the Safe Combat project, and they will now talk about what research outcomes we have there, and also the Safe Combat code that we developed. And there's a big online course and the certification that your club can get. And I will now hand over to Juliane to share the slides and to Nemanja to start with the presentation. Very happy to have you here.
Okay, I will start. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, dear members of European Judo Union, and as I can see, out of the Judo Union family. It is a great pleasure to present them for start the main research findings from the Safe Combat project, focused on safeguarding in combat sports and martial arts. Before I start, I would like to strongly emphasize that the research part of the project was led by Thomas More University team, and all of the project partners contributed to the research. And I would like to thank to Renata, Caroline, and Helena from the Thomas University, as also all the partners that contributed to the research. The aim of the first part of the presentation is to show what we learned through the research part. And the strength of the research is that it combined three different sources of information. First, we had a literature review to tell us what scientific research already knows about safeguarding in combat sports and martial arts. Then we had conducted a desk research that show us what clubs and organizations currently have in practice. And the third focus groups give us the human side of the story, and we try to get the insight how athletes feel, coaches, parents, and other stakeholders. These three parts together create a strong evidence base for future implementation, and based on those research, we develop a safeguarding code that will Juliane present a little bit after, and massive open online course. The literature review identified 5 important safeguarding themes. It is interpersonal violence, bullying, and discrimination, but also something that is connected typically to the martial arts and combat sports. It's weight cutting, eating disorders, and supplement use. Also, other injuries and skin infection, as all very important brain injury and concussions. The role of the coach is always really important, and all this research show us that safeguarding combat sports cannot be reduced only to abuse policies. It must include other subjects. So most important findings from the review is that a harm is often normalized because we are sometimes trained to push throughout pain, and it can make it difficult to distinguish between demanding practice and unsafe practice. Also, when the rapid weight loss is considered normal and not something that can harm your health, it is a red flag that we need to observe. And one of the also main subject that we cover is that the concussion in our sport is maybe often, but we are not sure if it is underreported. So we need to have better education about concussion, especially for the younger ones. We have some rule change in past years that really try to protect our athletes, but I think with good education we can remain at like the to decrease the number of concussions in our sport. At the same time, judo has a strong protective potential. Our values from GTQA, like mutual welfare and benefit, and other values that already Andrew showed in the video, all the values from the Judo Moral Code, can support safeguarding, but we need to emphasize it in the daily practice. The desk research included more than 300 participants, and we have, because the SAFE Combat project is not only about judo, we have other martial arts and combat sport included, but the most answers were from judo. Over 50% of the sample was from judo, and it is highly relevant for our judo community. The survey examined whether clubs have already safeguarding policies, officers, reporting mechanism, and education in line. We have the results, and the results show that safeguarding structures often exist, but their visibility is not always strong. For example, usually of course, safeguarding officers and officers or the members of the board know that there is a policy or that the officer exists, but other club members are less sure about that. This is a very important message. If our ordinary members, athletes, parents, and other participants do not know that there is a policy or that there is a safeguarding officer, then the system is not fully functioning, is functioning only on paper. Another important signal is possible, not for sure underreporting, because there are 80% of safeguarding officers members that they received 0 concerns last year. So this really may mean that our judo environment is safe, but may also mean that the reporting channels are somewhat unclear or that people do not trust the process. So we need to dig deeper into that. At the end, we have a focus group conducted in the 4 countries that had different level of safeguarding policies in line. And the focus group helped us understand the lived experience of the stakeholders. This part is important because safeguarding is, of course, not only about the documents and the procedures. We need to have real people that will, like Andrew, share us the real stories, that we can know how people feel, how athletes feel, how parents feel, and how everybody inside the judo family feel. The focus group confirmed many of the same concerns that were found in the literature, that there are some inconsistent rule application and reporting gaps. Some of the members of the focus group declared that they feel pressure and maltreatment, and there are some of them that reported that they are, let's say, gray zone in the physical context, so that we need the better standards and clear regulation, not regulation, but standards for contact in our sport. What is contact appropriate, by coach, by whom, and in what context. Of course, the rapid weight loss and concussion was also mentioned during the focus group. To conclude the research findings and give the word to Juliane, the research clearly shows that safeguarding in judo and combat sport must be practical, visible, and sport-specific. And of course, it must protect athletes, support coaches, and strengthen the positive values that we already have in judo, and we need to share it and make them more strong. Thank you, and Juliana, please continue.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with all of you. So far, we did hear valuable insights from Andrew, and now Nemanja highlighted what the research tells us about safeguarding combat sports and martial arts. The evidence clearly shows that safeguarding is not only about prevention abuse, but it's also about creating environments where everyone can train, compete, and develop safely. Drawing on the research, expertise, and collaborative work of the SAFE COMBAT Consortium, we have developed a practical framework to help organizations achieve exactly that. At the heart of this framework is the SAFE COMBAT Safeguarding Code. It is the project's key reference document for clubs, schools. Of course, federations can also use it, and actually everyone committed to making combat sports and martial arts safer, in our case, Judo, to make it more respectful and more inclusive, can use the safeguarding code that has been developed. The code is translated translates the research into action and provides organizations with practical guidance to strengthen safeguarding in their everyday activities. Well, now you must say, so what exactly does the code aim to achieve? I will show you a little bit. So the SAFE COMBAT code turns international safeguarding principles into practical actions. Its objective is simple but ambitious. It is to help clubs, schools, and all stakeholders to create environments where everyone can participate safely, both physically and also psychologically. It is built on international recognized standards, including the IOC safeguarding framework. The code translates high-level principles into practical guidance and concrete actions that organizations can implement in their everyday activities. The code, together with most SAFE COMBAT resources, is currently available in 8 languages. So you can download the English, the Hungarian, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the German, the French, and the Macedonian version. I did put a QR code here, but you can also go to our website, the SAFE COMBAT EU website, where you can find the code and all other materials. Well, of course, if you would like to contribute or you would like to translate it into another language, we are delighted to hear from you. So don't hesitate to contact us. We will make available the open document, and we are very happy to count on you to spread it further. What really makes SAFE COMBAT different is not only the code, it's also the way we understand safeguarding. So we try to bring a holistic approach to safeguarding, which is specifically designed for the characteristics and risks also, and our culture of combat sports and martial arts. Because to speak about safeguarding in general, it's not appropriate for our sports, because we have throwing inside, we have arm locks inside, we do have strangles inside, we do have physical contact, it's inevitable. So we cannot just apply safeguarding guidance from football, for instance, which is completely different. So traditionally, safeguarding has focused primarily on preventing abuse. This remains absolutely essential. It's really, really important. But I think that now, and also in our project, we recognize that participant safety and well-being are also shaped by the health and safety practices that are unique to our sports. This is why the code addresses not only physical, psychological, and sexual violence, but also bullying, discrimination, and neglect, and injury prevention, concussion management, safe return to sport procedures, responsible weight management, and overall participant well-being. These topics are often treated separately. We bring them together within one coherent safeguarding framework because they all influence whether participants feel safe, respected, and supported. For us, protecting participants means protecting, as Andrew also said, both their safety and their health. This broader perspective reflects what our research has shown, as we did hear from Nemanja, throughout the project. Safeguarding is not one single policy. It is a culture, and that should guide every aspect of participation in combat sports and in our case, in Judo. Of course, principles alone are not enough. We already have main principles in Judo. We already have a moral code. They are translated sometimes in different wordings, as Andrew showed. But the real question is, how can clubs put them into practice? So this is exactly what we try to do with the SAFE Combat Code. It has been designed to be practical and actionable. Rather than simply describing what safeguarding is, it helps clubs and schools to implement it through concrete measures. These include appointing a safeguarding officer, establishing clear reporting mechanisms, promoting safe recruitment practices, ensuring first aid readiness, monitoring injuries, creating medical support pathways, and providing safeguarding education for everyone involved. The code also encourages regular monitoring and evaluation so that safeguarding becomes part of everyday club life rather than simply a written policy, and to be checked what is the actual state and how can we improve it further. In other words, the SAFE Combat Code is not just a declaration of intent. It is an implementation of framework that helps organizations embed safeguarding in a structured, realistic, and sustainable way. Safeguarding cannot be taken one day and then left aside. It needs to be lived every day and evaluated to evolve further. Even the best framework depends on people understanding how to apply it. That is why education became the next essential step of our project. To support this implementation, SAFE Combat project has developed a dedicated online education program. I will present this now to you. Oh, next slide. Voila, here we go. Having developed, oh, actually, Nemanja, sorry, I'm taking your floor.
Nemanja, you have to turn on your microphone again.
Just continue, Juliane.
You want me to continue? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Well, so I will try to make this also very clear for you, I hope. And yeah, as Veronica also said, I will just go on, but please share your questions already in the chat. And if there are any questions, any good practices maybe you want to share from your side, also feel free to put them in the chat. I know that Andrew is always very active, but don't hesitate to be you too. So, okay, so regarding our massive open online course, so it was the intention was after the development of the code, how can we help clubs to put these principles into practice? And there the answer of the consortium was education. So this led to the SAFE Combat course, and it is really created to support implementation. The course provides practical knowledge on safeguarding principles, recognizing warning signs, responding appropriately to concerns, reporting procedures, injury and concussion management, weight cutting risk, and safe coaching practices. Although it has been primarily designed for coaches, safeguarding officers, and club leaders, it is freely accessible to everyone, including athletes, parents, volunteers, and officials. And this is really something I shout out here. Just use it. It's free, and just share it. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to plan it at a certain moment, because you can do it whenever you want. And at your own rhythm. So that's really convenient. And whenever you have time, you can take the next module. So just scan the QR code or go on our website and feel free to engage in this course. And of course, also feel free to give us your feedback, because for sure we can always improve, evolve together. And make also the education better.
And I will also like to add that the online course is also available in several languages,
Yes.
not just in English.
Yes, exactly. So as I said prior, all documents, all materials, all outcomes are translated in different languages. And here again, if you would like to translate it, just contact us, because we can make all the documents available, and it's possible to translate. So why exactly education is so important? Well, because experience shows that policies alone do not change behavior. Real change happens when people understand their responsibilities and know what to do. Because sometimes people understand their responsibilities, but they don't know how to act, how to deal, how to improve. So education helps stakeholders recognize risk earlier, respond appropriately, make informed decisions, and build trust within their organizations. Perhaps most importantly, it gives people the confidence to act when something doesn't feel right. And that is also what we did see prior in the poll that Veronica shared. Sometimes the environment doesn't feel safe enough to just speak up about something we are not feeling right with, like also mental health issues as Veronica checked in the beginning. So ultimately, the MOOC helps transform safeguarding from a document into everyday practice. This is really key, creating a shared safeguarding culture where everyone understands their role in keeping participants safe, because it's our responsibility from each and everyone. It's not just the leadership of the club. It's not just the coaches. It's everyone. It's every participant also. So education is one essential step. Recognizing organization that put safeguarding into practice is another. And so what we did with the consortium is that we created a SAFE COMBAT club label. So as I said, education is one essential step, but recognizing organizations that put safeguarding into practice is also very, very important. It encourages implementation and recognizes good practices. So this label demonstrates that safeguarding is not only a commitment, it is part of the club's everyday culture. Well, the label is showing that the organization has successfully embedded safeguarding into their everyday practice. It provides visible recognition that a club has formally adopted the SAFE COMBAT Code. So this is one essential requirement. The other requirement is that the organization has appointed a trained safeguarding officer and committed itself to recognize safeguarding standards. More importantly, it demonstrates commitment and not only compliance. So for a club, it's a way of showing members, parents, athletes or participants, and caregivers in general, and to all the wider community, also to their governments or municipalities or whoever, that participants' safety and well-being are genuine priorities in their organization. Naturally, this raises the question, what does a club need to do to receive the label? So I will show you the next slide. Well, one of the strengths on SAFE COMBAT certification system is that we wanted to keep it very straightforward and simple for the clubs, because we all know that in a lot of clubs it's volunteer people, and the day only has 24 hours and everybody is already having a lot of work, and most of the time it's passionate people doing it in addition to their work and to their family and private life. So we wanted to keep it really straightforward and simple, but also reliable. So from the very beginning, our goal was to create a model that would be practical, realistic, and achievable for clubs of all sizes and capacities. The 4 minimum requirements are straightforward. First, the club must be affiliated with its national federation. Second, it formally adopts the Safe Combat Safeguarding Code. Third, it appoints a club safeguarding officer. And finally, that officer successfully completes the Safe Combat Massive Open Online course. Once these requirements have been fulfilled, the club can submit its application online, following a review by the certification committee. So there's a committee that will review that all requirements are met, and successful applicants receive the Safe Combat Safeguarding Club label, which they can use in their club communication and in their branding, and so on. So our objective is not to create unnecessary bureaucracy, but to provide clubs with a clear and realistic pathway towards implementing safeguarding in a structured and sustainable way. What are the benefits of adopting Safe Combat for clubs mainly, but also for federations and most importantly for participants? So we believe that the benefits are tangible for everyone involved. For clubs, Safe Combat helps create safer training environments, strengthens the risk management, builds greater trust among participants and caregivers, and provides public recognition of their commitment to safeguarding. For federations, it offers a practical framework to harmonize safeguarding standards, strengthen participant protection, and support the development of affiliated clubs. So you can make the Safe Combat outcomes and the Safe Combat label available to your clubs. And most importantly, participants benefit also, and last but not least, from a more inclusive and a more supportive environment where they can learn, develop, perform if they want so, and enjoy sport and judo with confidence. Ultimately, Safe Combat helps move safeguarding from intention to implementation. So this brings us to the overall vision of the project. We said in our consortium that Safe Combat means strong in spirit and safe in practice. And we really always tried to focus on a comprehensive safeguarding framework. So Safe Combat for us is much more than a single document. It combines 4 complementary elements: a practical safeguarding code, a free online education program, a club certification system, and a growing collection of practical resources. So we have also a poster with the essential requirements. We have an action guide. We have created videos and podcasts already. So all this is supported by a European community and by the European Union actually to be realized. Together, these tools provide clubs and federations with practical solutions to strengthen safeguarding and participant well-being in our communities. For judo, this is a natural continuation of what our sport has always represented. Judo has always been about much more than competition. The principle of jita-kyoei, mutual welfare and benefit, together with the values such as respect, courage, well, I don't need to name them for you, provides a strong foundation for safeguarding. So Safe Combat just helps to transform these values into everyday practice, ensuring they are experienced by every participant in every club, every day. Together, we can build combat sports and judo that are not only strong in spirit, but also safe in practice for everyone. Thank you very much for your attention. If for us, and I know for the European Judo Union, this is only the beginning of the conversation. So I'm very happy with Nemanja to hear about your questions either now or later in the breakout sessions. and really look forward to exchanging experience further on, sharing good practices, and discussing also the challenges and the opportunities of strengthening safeguarding in judo. I think that everyone has great experience to share and perspectives which are essential. And I think that we can identify practical solutions, learn from one another, and continuing building safer, stronger, and more inclusive judo environments. So beyond today's session, we hope you will also stay connected with the Safe Combat community, with the European Union and their commission, so that we can continue strengthening safeguarding. And yeah, we are really looking forward to continuing the conversation with all of you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Juliane, for showing us what we have already done in the great Safe Combat and the great Safe Combat project. So if you have any questions on safeguarding or the Safe Combat project, then I would love to hear from you. I see Miguel's hand up. You're right next. But before that, perfect, there's also coming in the chat. I will also, let me just share my screen. I love to give you 3 invitations, actually. First invitation is if you are interested in meeting other people who are really into safeguarding, if you are the safeguarding officer of your national federation, for example, then this is for you, because we at the EJU, we have quarterly meetings on safeguarding, which are open for everybody who is interested in safeguarding, especially for people, of course, who are in their national federations. We always have a topic. The next quarterly meeting is going to be at the end of August, and we will talk about the parents' role in safeguarding and how we can engage with parents more, and how we can bind them into the conversations. If you are interested in joining us, then I would love to get an email from you. I will also put my email address here in the chat. So if you would love to join us at the end of August, November, or next year, then I would love to get an email from you, then I can put you on my list. Then next invitation is from Andrew. The British Judo Association has a safeguarding conference at 8th of October. It's also virtually, and they are also inviting us to join there as a stakeholder. So feel free. I already joined some BJA safeguarding conferences, and they were always very good. As you can tell, Andrew and his team, it's free. Yeah, perfect. It's always a good one. And yeah, they have a lot of experience, and it's great to be around there. And last invitation before we go on to the questions is the Safe Combat Conference. If you are at the European Judo Championships for Veterans in Portimao in Portugal in October, then yes, join us. We would love to see you in person and chat with you. We have a 2-hour conference there, and then some lovely networking cocktails. So if you're also not interested in safeguarding, but would love to cheer on with us on other topics of human rights, then we would love to see you in Portugal.